Okay, here's all the cards. 6-deck Blackjack. Dealer stands on all 17s. No surrender. Blackjack pays 3-2. Comparing the Fibonacci betting system to flat betting. This is the shoe number 3, day number 3, however you want to look at it. Do 1 shoe a day, get to 7 shoes, keeping track of the number of hands and which system wins or loses that shoe. Do a summary at the end, try to come up with some conclusions. We've already done martingale, Paroli, and the 1-3-2-6 system. I open up by showing you all the cards, that they're all present. I show you the complete shuffle, even though it takes a few minutes, just for verification purposes, that you can see that I haven't set the cards up in any particular way to try to convince you that this is the best way. This is, if you choose to play by these systems, it's your choice. We're just trying to see if they work, or if they can if they can do anything about beating the house edge, I guess. Of course, the experts will tell you, or most people will tell you, because not because they tested it themselves, because they read it somewhere else. I think there's really probably only very few people who have put this through proper computer simulations. Everyone will tell you that progressive betting systems don't work. But those are usually, like I said, computer simulations run over millions of hands that you will never play, and I will never play. There's just simply not that much time. Maybe there are some people who are out there who play 8 hours a day, every day, 40 hours a week. They might get millions of hands in. My guess is you are not that person. That's not to say that any results that we come up with will be entirely definitive. 7 shoes is hardly enough, but it's a start. It lets us, for one, see how the system works and see if there's any hope for them at all. So it's going to take a lot more testing. But I'm not exactly just willing to accept that because somebody rewrote what somebody else wrote in some article that progressive systems don't work. So we're trying to find out. Anyways, here's my automatic shuffler, which I will continue to use. I'll keep talking over it. You're welcome to skip over the shuffle procedure if you'd like. I understand it's not the most exciting thing to watch, but I do explain how things are going to work, so bear with me. Both betting systems will be betting on the same cards, on the same hand. Somebody did ask, shouldn't I be putting out separate sets of cards for each player, as we call them, either the flat better or whichever system we're doing? My answer to that is no. You need to. They need to play the same cards, the same hand, in order to be able to see how which system is working better. If they're playing different hands, they're getting different cards. One player could be getting really bad cards, the other player could be getting really good cards. So you won't know. You need to play the same hand. So the flat betting works kind of like a benchmark. It should represent, the flat better should represent the house edge, because you're playing just straight blackjack. Anyways, both systems start with the same number of chips. They start with, or betting units, they start with 50 units. Those units can be scaled up to whatever table you're playing. One unit is one base, or is one denomination, I guess. So a single unit on a $5 table is $5. A single unit on a $15 table is $15. On a $25 table, it's $25. You get the idea. Let's see. So the Fibonacci system is a negative progressive betting system. What that means is that when you lose, you change your bet. Sometimes people call them regressive betting systems. They're pretty much the same thing. It's a little bit more complicated than other betting systems where, well, or negative progressive systems. When you lose, you change your bet one way, and instead of winning and starting your cycle all over, you move back a couple of spots in the progression. I have the progression written out here. I will show it to you. We'll refer to it while we're playing, because this Fibonacci gets a little bit confusing. So I'll try to make it clear for you. So this is really not just a comparison, but it's also a bit of a tutorial. Almost there. Thanks for your patience. I want to make sure we get a decent shuffle out of these, right? Almost there. Okay. Put that away. These are our cut cards. They're just joker cards from another deck. Put that there. We will simulate a player cutting the deck right there. Bring that around. Then we go for about 75% penetration into the shoe. Has so far given us no fewer than 45 hands. As many as, I think, 51. That might be a little deep, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter so much because we're not counting cards. I mean, you may count cards, but we're not going to change anything that we do. Here's all the chips for each side. I've tried to be quick, but want you to see that they're all here, that we start everything just right. Okay, so these are 10s, a stack of 5 5s, and these are singles. Oops. Okay, so everything's here. 50 units. Consider this to be a 1 unit minimum and a 100 unit max. That's the same as a $5 table with a $500 max. But that will come into play as we're using Fibonacci. The Fibonacci sequence progresses like this. The next number in the sequence would be 144. Since you can only bet 100, if we happen to get to there, that will be your max bet. You won't be able to go to 144. I would think that you actually would not be able to get there, that you would bust out somewhere in here, around 21 or 34, because it's not just 34 chips, it's your compounded losses on your way to 34. So unless you've done really, really well before you got there, you're going to bust out around here. So you probably won't be able to hit the table limit. Okay, so anyways, we'll refer to this as we go. Okay, trying to be quick. Okay, burning a card. Sometimes I forget. This time I remembered. I'm going to put since they're both playing the same hands, I'm going to put the cards here in the center. This is flat better. This is Fibonacci. Okay? Like they're playing the same hand. This isn't how you would normally lay it out, but that's fine. Okay. Playing by basic strategy. The card, the book, whatever. Soft 16 to an 8 takes a card. 12 hits again. 22, that's a loss. Okay, so I keep the Fibonacci's running losses over here on the side. Helps me keep track of where we are in the progression. 15. Okay, let me just bring that up really quick just to show how it's going to work. This was here our first bet of 1 unit. We lost that, so we moved down to the next position, which will be a repeat of 1 unit. Continued losses will just keep your next. This indicates what your next wager will be. If you win, you move back 2 positions. If you win again, let's say you're at 5, you win again, you move back 2 positions. So if we win this one at 1, we move back 2 positions, or in other words, we just start the cycle over. Okay? The idea, let me talk while we're playing, okay? The idea behind Fibonacci is that your losing streaks will close out at exactly break even. Unlike martingale, which seeks to close its cycle being 1 up, or 1 unit up. 19 to a 10 stands. 17. Okay, so here's your one from your loss column I keep for you over here. That just goes right back. Not really any different than flat betting so far. We haven't gotten into the system yet. Okay, so we're starting the cycle over at the first one in the sequence. Ace check here. Nope. 16 hits. 26. Okay, lost. So we start the cycle over, or not start. We move to the next position in the cycle, which is the second one. If you recall, I'm not going to bring that out every time to try to keep this a little bit shorter. I'll bring it out when I feel like I need to. You can always rewind and look at it again, or just wait for me to show it. 13 to an 8 hits. 20 stands. 13. 20. Push. Pushes, repeat the same bet. So you're still at the second 1 position, okay, because you still have 1 over here in your loss column. And take a peek. Oh, there's that. Okay, so now that's 2 consecutive losses. You've lost 1. You had a push, but we just ignore that. You just lost the other 1, so now you move to 2. Your next wager is 2 units, which does correspond with your 2 losses there. So if you win, you'll be back at break even. So it continues to be 1 for the flat better. See, told you it's a bit of a how-to as much as it is a comparison. 14 to a 6 stands. 12, 15, 17. Okay. So the progression goes 1, 1, 2, then 3. Okay, so you would see that you actually are down 4. Okay, I don't think you can see that. If you're actually down 4, when you're wagering 3. So when you win that, you'll actually get. I'm going to give you back out of your loss column. You'll still have 1 remaining, but remember, you only go back 1, 2 positions. So if you win this, you have not yet completed the cycle. Okay. Here we go. Try not to over-explain that, but I want you to be clear on what's happening. 20 stands. 17. So look, just like I said, there's 1, 2, 3. 1 for this guy. And you move back those 2 positions to the second 1 in the sequence. 1, and you have 1 off here still. So you haven't finished it yet. Okay, insurance closed. You don't take insurance. Pair of 3s. 2 and ace is a hit. Oh, you should have split, huh? 14, 19, 20. So that being the second, that was the second 1 position. So that loss So remember the sequence goes 1 1 excuse me, 1 1 2 3. So your next wager is 2, and that again shows you have 2 over here. If you get it, let's see, nope, you didn't. If you had a blackjack does not mess up the system. You just keep the extra 50% bonus pay. And you don't do anything different. It's just a regular win after that. 20 stands, 16, 25. So there you go. And there's that. You completed the cycle. You were at, remember the cycle goes 1 1. Well, I'll show it. I'll show it this time. 1 1 2 3. You won the 3. You went back to the 1. You lost that. You wagered 2. You won that. You go back 2 positions. 1 2. So you're back at the start. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go. 11 to a 6 is a double down. We'll see what happens if you lose this and how we'll deal with that. Hopefully you don't. 16, 10, 20. You did lose. Okay. That's an initial wager of 1, backed up by 1. So far I've been doing this as that counts as the first 2 single units losses. 1 and 2. It works here because those 2 bets are the same. I haven't figured out yet what to do if you double down, say on the 5. Do you go to the 8? Do you go to the 13? You are going to go 1 1 2 because you're down 2. The idea is to get back to even. Guess we'll figure it out when that happens. Hasn't happened yet. By the way, that's the first 10 hands. Told you I'm keeping track. Okay, next hand. Hand 11. 12 to a 3 according to strategy takes a card. That is 16. You'll stand there. 5, 15, 24. So you get your 2 back and pay the flat better. Single unit. And you're moving back 2 positions, which actually just puts you back at the start. Single unit wager. 17 stands. 8, 18. First loss of the new cycle. You're moving to the next position 2, which is still a single unit wager. Little ace check here. Nope. 19 stands. 20. That's a loss. So you're now 1 2 1 1. Oops. 2 in the Fibonacci sequence. Seeking to get back to break even. You're down 2 for this round. Not for the whole thing. For the whole thing, you're down a little bit more. 20 stands. 11, 15, 25. So there you go. You get your 2 back and pay the flat better. Starting the cycle over. Single unit. Now I'm trying to go too fast. I'm dropping cards. 20 stands. 12. 22. Simple win. You're still at the beginning of the sequence. Check. Soft 15 to a 10 takes a card. 14 hits again. 20. 18. Take those off. So far, this being the 3rd shoe, 17 stands, 19. Fibonacci moving to the second 1 position. This only being the 3rd day, we have the first couple days were all pretty good shoes. We haven't had a very big losing streak. We haven't gotten past the 5 in the sequence. Insurance closed. Which means we haven't had more than 4 consecutive losses. Anybody who's played, okay, so you're down 2, so you went 1 1 2. Next wager's 2. Anyone who's played knows that it's not uncommon to get longer losing streaks. You know, like 6 or 7 up to 10, very, very easy. 20 stands. 14, 24. You just get them right back. See, so we keep going down, and then we get them back, down and get them back. With a couple extra wins, is keeping us just above a break even. Flat better's down. So what my point is that we haven't seen a terrible shoe and the kind of damage that might do to Fibonacci. I'm sure eventually we will. It could be this one. This one could go south anytime. 15 takes a card. 25. I don't mean to jinx it. In fact, I did not actually have any effect on the cards. Speaking of 20, that's the next set of 10. That's 20 hands down, approaching halfway. After that loss, Fibonacci is at the second position, which is still a wager of 1. Insurance closed. Now you're at the third position, which is a wager of 2. 1, 1, 2. Did I jinx it? Are we going to see the bad sequence here? In a way, it would be good if we did, because then we can, if we just have good shoes, we're not going to learn anything. That's the whole idea here. 13 to a 9 needs a card. 23, that's a loss. 20. All right, so 1, 1, 2. That was. Now your next is 3 in the progression. Do you need to see it? No. I'll show you on the next one if I have to. Okay, a pair of 9s to a 6. I knew it was, but you know, I'd just like to make sure. That is a split. So here, how we're going to deal with splits. Let's see where it ends up, and then we'll decide if we have to do anything. This one first. 19, that's good. This side. 12 to a 6 stands. 12. 14. 21. Okay. Oh, this is a first for us, where this is the same kind of where you lost 2 bets that were not a single unit and every single time I think that's happened, every single time it's happened, we've been here. This is the first time. Right now we're here. So what we actually lost was 6. And so what we're gonna do, and this is where it really helps that I keep the running losses over here. Okay, so 1, 1, 2. I know this is slowing us down, but it's going to be important because we need to figure this out. I haven't been able to find anything that addresses this when you have a double loss or even a triple loss. It's a little easier to figure out when you're moving back the other way, but nothing has talked about the double loss. Okay, so the way this should go is you got 1, which way? Hard to see. 1, 1, 2, 3. This one should have been a loss of 5, but it wasn't. If your next wager being 8 after the 5 would put you, back at 3. I don't know. So we're at 1, 1, 2, 3. If we bet, okay, so if our next bet is 5 and we win that, that would be those 5, right? And then we move back 2 spaces and win those 2 back, and then win 1. We're still down. Oh, actually, oopsie. Sorry. Yeah, our next wager should be 5. If we make our next wager, if we count that like we did here and move 2 positions down, our next wager would be 8. So if we bet 8 and win 8, that would be 6, 7, 8, and then we move back 2 positions at 3, would be ahead. If we move back an extra position to make up for the extra position that we bumped forward on this double loss, then we would be at 2, and then if we won that, then we would be break even and complete the cycle the way you're supposed to. I think that's how it's going to go. Okay, so we had, thank you for being patient, we had 1, 1, 2, 3. This one's going to count as it as the 5 position, or it's a double loss, so we're going to move 2 positions down. And we're going to skip the 5 and we're going to go to the 8. Okay? But then if we win the 8, we will move, whenever we win, we're going to have to, we'll have to make up for that. And I don't know, we'll just see what happens. Sorry if this video gets long, but we're going to learn this. So let's say we lose again. Well, I don't know. Let's just deal with that there. Right now, we're at the 8 position. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and we have to remember that if that wins, we're going to bump back 2 spaces. 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, not if we win that, we're going to bump back an extra spot to 2. Oh, it's confusing. Okay, 8, 1. Sorry for the delay. 20 stands. 12. 22. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. Pay this guy too. Okay. Now, you're still down 2. Remember, like I said? Here, let's clear these. Clear out your winnings. Since we moved down an extra spot, we're going to go up 2 like we're supposed to, and then 1 more, which would coincide with what you still have in your loss column. Next wager is 2. If you lose, you're going to 3. If you win, you've completed the cycle. Got it? Here we go. Trying to be quick. This hopefully will make other videos shorter, as we'll have this figured out. 15 hits, 16 hits, 19, 13, 20. Oh. Okay, that was the wager of 2. It still follows. We're back right on track with the system the way we're supposed to be. 1, 1, 2, 3. You almost got away with it. Wager of 3 on that side for Fibonacci. Are you confused yet? Hopefully you've studied. The 12 is to a 5 is a stand. 6, 16, 19. Hopefully you've done your homework, so you're already kind of familiar with Fibonacci, and this is just a chance to really see it working. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Remember that? $19 to a 7, soft 19 to a 7 stands. 13, 23. Okay, so pay him off quick, and then so you're moving back out of your loss column. I'll let you see it. There's 3 plus 2 to make 5. So those you're getting. You move back 2 positions. You're betting. What? Now I'm confused. That's a bet of 5. Oh. Oh, right. You giving these back. This is still your loss column. You're going to be here to try to get back to even. That's what I was thinking. It was 1. I was confused. Ignore that. It's a bet. You're at the 2 position. So there's your 5. Next wager will be 2. Good thing I wrote it all down, huh? Goes over there. Oh, this video is going to be long, but edifying. Insurance closed. 12 hits. 20, good. 12, 19, and there you go. You completed the cycle, break even. Good job. Back down to a single unit. Right there, starting fresh, starting all over. So you can forget all about that other confusing stuff we just went through. 16 to a 6 stands, 16, 17. You're at the 2nd position, which is still a unit of 1, or a wager of 1 unit. 13 to a 6 stands, 16, 21. Now you will be in position 3, which is a wager of 2, to try to get back your 2 here in the loss column. Speaking of 3s and that position you are, that was the 3rd set of 10, so that's 30 hands down. We're approximately 2/3 of the way through this shoe. Soft 16 to a 10 takes a card. Hard 16 hits again. 26 too many. 16. Oops. 1, 1, 2, 3. That's your next wager in the Fibonacci system. 7 takes a card. 9. 19. 12. 22. Okay, so you get 3 of them back. Oops. But remember, you only go back 2 positions. You still have 1 over here in your loss column. You're at the second 1 position. Okay, remember 1, 1, 2, 3. So you went back 2 from 3 to the 1. If you lose this, you're wagering 2 on the next hand. If you win, you'll even out. Start the cycle over. 14 stands. 7. 17. So that was 1, 1, 2, 3. You have 2 in the loss column, so you got to wager 2. How you're going to really keep track of this in the casino, I don't know. You're going to have to either just pay really close attention. Insurance closed. 14 to an ace takes a card. 16 needs to keep hitting. 19, very nice. Well, pretty nice at least. 5, 15. 13. 15, too many, and there you go. Complete the cycle, you're out. Start over. How are you going to keep track of this in the casino? You probably need to have at least a little scrap of paper with you that shows the sequence on it. I'm sure that I'm sure that's okay to have. Hold on. Sorry, when I did my setup, I forgot to grab my half chips, which, if you've been watching, you know those are actually quarters, but they represent a half of the bet unit. Anyways, I'm sure you could take a little piece of paper that showed you the Fibonacci sequence in it. Well, it's just a regular, it's not that hard to figure out. We're at the beginning of the cycle. You just treat that like a regular win. Even when you're down farther in the progression, you just come back to normal. It's just your bonus payout. I'm sure it's okay to have a little scrap of paper. 6, 16 stands, 10, 21. You're allowed to bring in a printout of the card or the book, basic strategy. You can't have it on your phone, so don't expect that you can use your phone for Fibonacci. You're at the second position in the sequence here, bet of 1. 13 stands to a 5, 11, 13, 18. Your Fibonacci will now be at position 3, which is a bet of 2, 1, 1, 2. So yeah, if you had if you had something not quite this big, sure, that would be fine. You just kind of, I don't know, keep your finger on it, trying to remember where you are. I think you're allowed, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to take notes. 8, 10, 20, 13, 16, 25. So complete the cycle there. I wish more people would take basic strategy with them. That would be, it would probably help most players, because there's always somebody who says, oh, what should I do? Then you can show them the card. Soft 14 hits. That is a soft 16, needs to keep going. That is soft 18 to a 2. This is where you need the card, because the 2s get a little bit weird. Basic strategy says to stand. Soft 18 to a 2, so we will stay right there. 9, 11, 21. Guess you could have used it, but card counters probably wouldn't have taken that either. Look at all these littles. Anyways, first loss, moving to second position in the sequence. Still a wager of 1 unit. 16 to a 2 stands, 12, 16, 21. That is 40 hands. We may encounter the situation where we run out the shoe before we complete the cycle. Hopefully not, in a way, because I hope you win. Position 3 is a wager of 2 units. The question would be what to do. Do you start the next shoe where you left off in the progression? 20 stands, 13, 18. Or do you start the cycle new? Hard to say. For what we're doing, hold on. For what we're doing, we consider, when this shoe is over, we consider the casino closed. And we start the next shoe fresh, starting at the beginning of the progression. 20 stands, 7, 17. You're still at the beginning of the progression. I haven't been telling you, but the flat better's down about 10. The Fibonacci's up like 4. So there's quite a difference there. Again, we haven't had a really terrible shoe. We haven't gotten to really threatening stacks yet. 15 hits, 17 stands, 16, 19. Moving to position 2, still a bet of 1 unit. Five hits, 12 hits, 16 needs to keep hitting. Card counters might not. We are playing by perfect basic strategy. 16, 18, very nice. 18 push, bet and position remains the same. So you're still at position 2, bet of 1 unit. Pair of 7s to a 10. I'm pretty sure that's just a hit, but I will make sure. We don't want to screw up. Yep, just a hit. That goes from 14 to a 15. You keep hitting. Too many. 24. 20. You're moving to position 3, which will be a bet of 2 units. That's 45 hands. So we hit our expected number of hands for the shoe. Maybe I didn't cut it so deep after all. 12 to a 7 takes card. 22. Oops, you know what? That was supposed to be a wager of 2 units, so I need to correct that. My mistake. I'm trying to go fast. Haste makes waste. Okay, that's hand 46. 1, 1, 2, 3. You're at a wager of 3. There it is, cut card. This is the last hand, so we will be ending the shoe mid-cycle. Not really mid, but in the cycle. You'll only have a 1 chip difference here if you manage to win this hand. Hope you do. Let's see. There you go. There you go. Actually, you know what? What luck. I'll show you in a second. 3 plus 1.5, time and a half, 1.5. That's hand 47, by the way. 12. I should have taken it from here. You were down 4. You just got 3 plus 1.5, so 4.5. So you actually, by great fortune, got that right there. Got you all your payback, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and then your bonus half. So, congratulations. Normally, though, you would move back. You would be here. You would not have really completed the cycle. You still would have been down by a single bet unit. But it's good enough. Casino's closed anyway, so take your chips, go home. Come back tomorrow. Okay, so let's count them up. Very easy to see the flat better is down. So this really was not a unlike the last couple of days. This shoe was not as good. That is 10 plus 5 5s, 25, so 35, 39, 40. So down 10 units on a $5 table, that's $50. That certainly would, I think, qualify as a not such a good shoe, being down by 10 units. On the Fibonacci side, that's 10 plus 5 5 25, 35. Come on, 40, 45, 50. There's your stake. That's what you bought in with. So anything now is profits. 4 plus 2 halves is 5. So you're up 5 units or $25 versus being down 10 units. So we're looking at a 15 unit spread between these two. Clearly, Paroli wins. 47 hands. We'll put this all in the summary after 7 shoes and see what's really going on. Again, this wasn't the best shoe, but it wasn't the worst shoe ever. So anyways, we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Bye.